Well, we appreciate everyone coming out today. Obviously, when you call a press conference, everyone gets concerned about why they call a press conference. Well, obviously, before we even get into that, I'd like to say this. This young man, I go way back with him, actually. Before he even got here at ASU, he played for me in the Under Armour All-American game coming out of high school. And I can remember coaching him that week. And when the game started, obviously, and we started playing, and the one catch he makes, the one-hander over on the sideline, it was covered by a guy that's a pretty good player, and, you know, he goes in and scores. And I can remember visiting after the game with Steve Mariucci, who coached the other team. I said, you know, I got a couple special players over here, and he felt the same way about his guys. And lo and behold, I get hired here, and Nikhil is still here playing football. And it's been my pleasure this year to really coach Nikhil and obviously and Manny and the guys. But this young man has done a lot for this university as far as his ability to play football, but also how he's represented this university and represented this community. A lot of that goes by his upbringing, obviously, and it has a lot to do with his grandma. And you know, what he's meant to us as a football player, but also meant to me as a student athlete, I think is very important. He has accomplished a lot of things on the field as well as off the field. He's done everything we could ask him to do as an athlete, as a leader on the football team. All those things come to mind when you think about this young man. And the reason he's sitting here today, he has something to say, and I'm going to let him speak his words rather for me to speak for him. But you're on stage now. I got you.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you to everybody in Sun Devil Nation, coaches, my teammates, all the media, all the fans. This has been a great ride. This has been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, something that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And with that being said, I'd like to forego my senior season and declare for the 2019 NFL Draft.
If anybody has a question, raise your hand.
Manny, you got anything to say?
Yeah, it's not for the media or anything. It's really for you. We talk all the time, man. I'm so proud of you. So proud of the work that you put in. You changed my life. One of my best friends. Gonna have a really good relationship with you down the road. You know, I always got your back. I appreciate you having my back through all the ups and downs that we've been through. This university, well, we left our mark here the correct way, and you'll go down as a legend here. And you're a special kid, man. You're a special kid. Love you.
Questions?
Nikhil, this was pretty much expected, but was there anything that gave you any second thoughts or reservations about possibly leaving or staying early? And also, do you plan to play in the bowl game coming up?
You know, there was a lot of thought that went into this. You know, I had multiple discussions with my family members, with a lot of my friends. This definitely was not an easy decision. You know, I truly do love this university. This place has given me opportunities that I only dreamt of. And you know, I'm forever thankful for that. And you know, as far as the bowl game is concerned, I'm not too sure about that. We haven't really discussed that too much. You know, right now I'm just focused on enjoying today, and making the most of it.
Nikhil, how much does possible injury go into your decision in playing in the final bowl game?
You know, just like I said, the bowl game discussion hasn't really crossed my mind too much so far. Like I said, I'm just worried about enjoying today, you know, celebrating today.
Look, I'll tell you this, as far as the bowl preparation, he's going to prepare to play in the bowl game. We'll discuss that. That'll be a discussion between Nikhil and myself. And obviously our AD, Ray will be involved in that as well. But right now, that's not even on the table. We're preparing to play in the bowl game, and he's preparing himself to play in that. And then from there, we'll see where it goes.
Nikhil, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you tell me about some of the memories that you'll take with you, some of the things that you are going to miss most about being a Sun Devil?
You know, just the people that are around this place. You know, I feel like when I first came into this university, I feel like I was a boy, you know, trying to find his way, you know, trying to figure out how to become a man, and you know, because of all the resources this university has, because of all the people around it, how much support there is, I feel like I'm really leaving this place as a grown man, and you know, I've learned so many lessons, and for me, the best part is just the people that are around this place.
Hi, Nikhil. What has Sun Devil Nation and just this community and growing up here in the Valley, and what has their support meant to you?
It's meant the world to me. You know, they've supported me since day one, since I was in high school. You know, from the day I stepped on this campus, you know, they had my back. You know, through the ups and downs, good game, bad game, they always had my back. You know, even if there was games where I was extremely disappointed in myself, I always had at least a couple fans let me know that they had my back, they were supporting me. So, you know, Sun Devil Nation has meant the world to me, it really has.
So, you're going to break potentially a long streak of Arizona State players who came from a local high school, went to Arizona State, and then went potentially on the first day of the NFL draft. I think the last time was Mike Pollock 11 years ago. So what message do you have just for you know, just the state of Arizona? You know, was it worth it for you to stick around to go through this experience where so many other people have gone elsewhere to find their path?
It was 100% worth it. You know, this state has given me so much. You know, being just a kid from a small island, ending up in Arizona, you know, this state means the world to me. And you know, when I was going through my recruiting decision, I was weighing my options, and I was thinking to myself, why not Arizona State? Why can't I accomplish my dreams at Arizona State? And of course, my grandmother was a part of that decision because I wanted to stay close. I wanted to have her support. I wanted her to see my games. I wanted all my friends to come see me play, and you know, that's what kept my confidence up a lot of the time. You know, when I was going through some things, I was close to all the people I needed to be close to, and you know, whenever I needed advice, whenever I needed to talk to anybody, they were always right there. And you know, I'm just so thankful for this university and the opportunity they gave me.
This one's for Coach. Can you speak to the evaluation process a little bit? I know that there are guys that sometimes get bad advice, and I know you guys are making sure that he's not one of them. Can you talk to me about how you're going through that?
Well, I think that's a conversation we had when I first took over here with Nikhil. Going forward, I said this season, I said there's a lot of people who are going to want to get involved in your life. I said just put that on hold. There'll be time. No agent has ever gotten a player drafted. Your performance gets you drafted, regardless of how good they are. And we've got a lot of good ones. And Ray used to be my agent, so he's a good agent, and he knows enough people, and I know enough people. We can always find an agent, but it's really about his play. And I wanted him to be comfortable just playing football. So those are the conversations we've had numerous times. Going forward, he's going to have to select someone, and if he wants advice, he knows where to come to get it. So that's how we how we've dealt with it all season.
Nikhil, congratulations on a great season. At what point in this season did this decision become final for you, or did you make up your mind?
You know, I tried to wait till after the last game to even get that far because, you know, my mindset was I have games to play. I have a team that's dependent on me. So that I really wasn't trying to put too much thought into that until that time came. And, you know, after the U of A game, that's when I really decided that it might be time, especially leaving with the win at the University of Arizona. That's when it became clear to me that this might be the decision for me.
Herm, you've prepared for many drafts throughout your career. When you're in that war room, what do teams look for in a first-round draft pick at receiver, and how does Nikhil measure up?
Well, there's a couple components as far as the draft. First, it starts with the skill set of the position that the player is going to play. How does he match up that way? It'll be height, weight, speed, all the you know, the variables you take when you look at an athlete. Then the second thing is his competitiveness. Is he willing to compete? Check that box. Does he prepare himself when he is not in the building, when he's off the field? Check that box. In the community, does he have any issues in the community? Is there any red flags of him being obviously socially with social problems outside the community? Has he been arrested? Has he done this? Check that box off? No. So there's a lot of boxes that he checks off, and probably the biggest box of all that he checks off, and I've discussed it with the pro guys, is that he loves to compete. It's a different football, the next level. It's all about competition, and you got to compete every day. It's no longer a hobby. It's your career, and you get judged on performance and how you compete every day. That's why it's so difficult for guys that leave the college ranks to play professional football. It's not a hobby anymore. You have to go take someone's job. It's not like I can wait till a guy graduates. They don't graduate. You have to cut somebody. And they have to have that mentality that when you come into training camp, that you're playing against a seasoned guy that has a lot of experience. You have talent, but you have no experience. The game is much faster. The playbook is much longer. This becomes your life. You have to invest in it. He's done that. He's done that as a college player. I mean, if you go to practice and watch him practice, you can see why he performs well. It's on the field. You can just, when I tell scouts come to practice, watch one. Just watch how he practices. So you got to look. Does he love the game of football? He loves the game of football. There's a lot of guys that like what football provides him. They don't really like football. He likes football. He likes to compete. So that's the big check. Because now they're going to pay you a check. And they want to know that the guy they're paying, he really likes this stuff. This is hard. This football thing's hard. It's easy to play in the game. But when you come to work every day, are you preparing to win? He prepares to win. Him and the guy that's sitting right next to him. They're both they cut from the same lot. They prepare every week to win. That's what you want to know. He checks all the boxes.
Coach, you've been around football on that same subject for a long time.
Too long.
At the highest level, does he remind you of any guys? Somebody come to mind?
And I don't like comparing players. I think they make their own lot in life as a player. But I've said this. Guys you can probably equate to Dez Bryant. Big, strong, physical guy. Can make the contested catch. You know, it's not, you know, some people say it's a 50-50 ball. No, with the good receivers, it's 70-30. They catch it 70 times, the defender gets it 30 at the most. But that's what he reminds me of a lot. You know, strong hands, loves to compete, really good in the red zone, good coming inside where he's going to take a hit. All those things, to me, now I'm not going to say he's Dez Bryant. He's going to be Nikhil, and that's going to be good enough. I always tell players you're good enough as who you are. But those are some of the traits that I see. Yeah.
Nikhil, why do you think you're ready right now to be an NFL receiver?
You know, since I've been a little kid, I've just loved this game so much. You know, when I thought about the NFL, I never really thought about the NFL for the money. I thought about it because, you know, I really do love this game. You know, I've poured my heart and soul out to this game. I've given it my everything, and you know, that's what I'll continue to do. I feel like now that I have the opportunity to go out and get my dreams, I feel like I need to do that. You know, every day I'm working on myself as a person, and every day I'm working on myself as a player. I just want to improve day by day, and you know, I feel like the NFL is a good opportunity to do that.
Nikhil, right here. For you and Manny both, there was a few weeks ago where you talked about a phone conversation you had maybe after the Stanford game, how you weren't going to let the season get away from you. Can you both comment just on your relationship to have kind of a conversation like that, and then how it impacted the rest of the season?
Sure, day, bro.
You know, that conversation was big for both of us because that was when we really decided no more excuses. It's all on us. You know, in the real world, they don't care about excuses. It's either you do it or you don't. And, you know, when him and I had that conversation, that's basically what it is. We were like, we might have this much time together. You know, he was a senior. I didn't know my decision yet, but this was the last season I was going to play with Manny. And, you know, we didn't want to get to the end of the season and look back and say, well, we could have done this, we could have done this, we could have played harder. You know, in football games, things happen. You might drop a ball, you might fumble, but one thing you can always give is your effort. And, you know, when we had that conversation, we promised each other we'd give our all these next couple games, and I feel like we did a pretty good job of that.
Hey, Nikhil, you might have heard Larry Fitzgerald had some nice things to say about you last week. Just is growing up or living in the Valley for a long time, is he someone you've looked up to? Yeah, definitely. You know, when I was growing up, the three receivers I always looked at were Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, and not a receiver, but I looked up to LaDainian Tomlinson as well. And, you know, having somebody like Larry say something like that, you know, it means a lot to me. And you know, I'm very blessed.
Win or lose, you've been one of the last guys off the field every single week, talking to fans, greeting fans, shaking kids' hands, taking pictures with whoever. Usually a staff member has to come and get you and drag you back into the locker room. I mean, that being said, knowing, you know, how much you like to be on that field at Sun Devil Stadium, how hard is it to make this decision to leave some teammates behind to pursue your dream?
This was an extremely hard decision, you know, to walk away from that field out there. Like I said, this university has given me everything I've ever wanted. And you know, those fans have been great to me. You know, when I stay after games, when I talk to kids, when I give them some of my gear, I get pure joy from that. I really enjoy doing things like that for people. You know, that's how I was raised, to give back. You know, not to be selfish. You can't think about yourself all the time. You know, and you know, I'm very blessed to have a grandmother that raised me like that, to make me aware of all the things that I'm aware of, and you know, it's just been a blessing to be in the position that I'm in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Good job, man. Yeah, we got another win.